Jai Shri Gurudev. Welcome to biology online class. Today we are going to talk about reproductive health. In this concept, we are discussing MTP and STD. So, what is meant by MTP? MTP means medical termination of pregnancy. MTP means medical termination of pregnancy. May be asked in your examination. Expand MTP like that. Then, what is the definition of MTP? Intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term called as MTP. Here, full term means 9 months. That is the gestation period in human beings. So, within 9 months means maybe 4th or 5th or 3rd or even 12 weeks. If terminate the pregnancy, then it is called MTP. That is the meaning or definition. Government of India legalized MTP in 1971, but many countries they are not ready to legalize the MTP because some emotional, social, and religious issues. They are not ready to legalize MTP. But India legalized the MTP in 1971. But they some strict conditions to avoid the misuse of MTP will be discussed later. What are the misuse? How can we misuse that MTP, legal MTP? So why restriction or conditions are important? Because check indiscriminate and illegal female feticides which are reported to be in India. That what you call female feticides. They are terminate female embryos during the pregnancy. That is female feticides. So large number of cases they are reported in India also. But in every year 45 to 50 million MTPs formed in a year all over the world. Every year 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed all over the world. See how MTPs are going on entire world. Then what you have to discuss? Why MTP? Why are MTPs are legalized? To avoid unwanted pregnancy due to casual intercourse or failure of the contraceptive used during coitus or rapes. You know already contraceptives. So maybe failure of the contraceptives during coitus or there is a not necessary for pregnancy during rape cases. In such situations, MTP are needed legally. Some cases where continuation of the pregnancy could be harmful to the mother or to the fetus or both. Sometimes the continuation of pregnancy is harmful to mother or her fetus. Hence, such a time MTPs are required. Then, when we have to conduct MTP, that is very important. So, MTP are safe during first trimester. You know, first trimester, that is 12 weeks. So, within 12 weeks, MTP is safer side. After 12 weeks means second trimester, MTP or abortion are very risky or very dangerous to mother body. So MTP will be done within 12 weeks or within first trimester. This is very important for competitive examination. Then, so you have to talk about problem associated with MTPs or how the MTPs are misused. This is very important. Majority of the MTP are performed illegally, not legally. They are performed illegally. Misuse of amniocentesis, a fetal sex determination test based on the chromosomal pattern in the fluid. You know what is meant by amniotic fluid. So within the amniotic fluid, the embryo is floating. Through analysis of that amniotic fluid, we can determine the sex of the fetus. So, if the fetus is female, it is followed by MTP. So, if fetus is female, they are followed by MTP. So, such practice are very dangerous to mother and fetus. So, that's why what they are doing, they are totally against legal practice. So, sex can be determined by using amniotic fluid. That is what you call amniocentesis. Move on to the another concepts, that is STD, sexually transmitted diseases. They are also called in different ways. Among first one is, or another name of STDs are venereal diseases, short form VD, venereal diseases. Next one, reproductive tract infections, RTI, the full form of RTI, reproductive tract infections, may be asked for expand form. So, the common example for STDs, there are several diseases are there, but nearly 8 to 9 diseases are mentioned in your syllabus. We are only concentrate such diseases. Among first one is gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B, then last one AIDS. These are the diseases mentioned in NCERT textbooks. Let me talk one by one. The first one is gonorrhea. The causative organism of gonorrhea is Neisseria gonorrhoeae, is the causative agent of the gonorrhea. We can easily visible in this diagram the causative organisms of gonorrhea. Next one is syphilis. The causative organisms of syphilis is Treponema pallidum. It is the causative agent of syphilis, Treponema pallidum. Next one, genital herpes. The causative organisms of the genital herpes is herpes simplex virus. In the next one, chlamydiasis. The causative organisms of the chlamydiasis is Chlamydia trachomatis. Chlamydia trachomatis is the causative agent of the chlamydiasis. Then next one, genital warts. Genital warts. The causative organisms of this disease is human papilloma virus. They are commonly called as HPV. HPV full form is human papilloma virus. In the next clips, trichomoniasis, one of the STD. The causative organisms of this disease is Trichomonas vaginalis. Trichomonas vaginalis is the scientific name of the causative organisms of trichomoniasis. The next one, hepatitis B. You know already, causative organisms is hepatitis virus B, or hepatitis B caused by hepatitis B virus, we can say. Then last one, you know, AIDS. Causative organisms is HIV, that is human immunodeficiency virus. These are the few common examples for STDs. In the NCERT textbook, they are not mentioned the causative organisms of such diseases, but the causative organisms are very important for your competitive examinations. That's why I am showing their causative organisms and their names. In the next clips, what is meant by sexually transmitted disease? What are the definitions for this? So you know already the name indicates. What name indicates? Sexually transmitted disease. So according to STD, the diseases transmitted through sexual intercourse are called sexually transmitted diseases. What is meant by sexual intercourse? The sexual intercourse, also called as coitus or mating. During sexual intercourse, due to contact of sexual organs, the disease may be spread from female to male or vice versa. In this way, the disease will be spread while during sexual intercourse. That's why it is called sexually transmitted diseases. This is very important. But hepatitis B and HIV, they are also transmitted to other various aspects. Not only sexual transmitted, they also transmitted other aspects also. By sharing of injection needles or even surgical instruments, then during transfusion of the blood and from infected mother to fetus, there may be chances. Rather than sexual intercourse, they also spread through sharing injection needles, surgical instruments during blood transfusion, or from infected mother to fetus, that is developing embryo. But except hepatitis B, genital warts and HIV, except these diseases, other diseases are completely curable if the diseases are detected early and treated properly. You have to remember this. Except hepatitis B and genital warts and HIV, other diseases can be curable. In the next clips, we have to discuss symptoms of STDs. Very important for 2-mark questions. What are the symptoms? They shows early symptoms also. Primary symptoms and secondary symptoms we can say. The early symptoms are very simple. They may be include itching, fluid discharge from sex organs, slight pain, swelling, etc. in the genital region, especially external genitalia. We are talking about in the structure of reproductive organs, male and female, genitalia, external genitalia. In this region, we can see in itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swelling, etc. These symptoms are observable in the early stage. After that, absence or less significant symptoms in the early stages of infection, the social stigma attached to the STDs deter the infected person from going to proper treatment. Due to some social stigma attached with people, they neglect the symptoms. That's why the STDs are spread easily person to persons. That's why the diagnostic is very important, treatment is very important. So most of the STDs are curable except hepatitis B, then HIV, then genital warts. So that's why the early treatment is very important. That's why the detections is very important in these cases. So what happens? The severe symptoms is complications such as pelvic inflammatory disease, popularly what you call PID, PID means pelvic inflammatory diseases. In the females, abortions, stillbirths, ectopic pregnancy, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. See, if you neglect, so it is complication. Its complication is PID, abortion, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancy, infertility, or maybe cancer in the reproductive tract. This is the severe in the secondary stage. That is in the secondary symptoms. That's why you have to avoid this. In the next clips, especially all persons may be vulnerable for STDs. These are very highly among persons in the age group 15 to 24 years. Then, how can we prevent? Our prevention of STDs are very important. The first point is avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. You have to partner should be faithful, should we maintain one partner, or you have to don't want to link with unknown partners, or you have to avoid multiple partners. So safe sex is very important to avoid prevention of STDs. Then while sex intercourse or coitus or mating, you have to use condoms. For male and female, condoms are available in the market and already studied regarding condoms. Then, in case of doubt, you have to go to qualified doctors. You have to meet qualified doctor, and early detections is very important, and if they are detected, so treatment is very important for particular disease. So thank you for watching. If you have any doubts regarding this concept, you have to contact me in this address and numbers. Thank you once again. Have a nice day. Thank you.